watch me while I sleep. Don't require your belief. Offering silence but no relief. Can you scream without a sound? Like the freeze that's coming down. Barren space where nothing grows. A secret place where no one goes.
Chaos Springs Eternal is a Delta Green actual play. Delta Green by its nature deals with violent themes, disturbing imagery, and horrors beyond our comprehension. Now, if you wouldn't mind comprehending some horrors with us, I think you'll have a good time.
Can you feel me in the fall? Hold me from this epilogue. My hands are frozen in the snow. The eyes of corpses have no glow. Made these chains just for myself. Rambling about my mental health. Demons on this hazy hill. Only my soul is left to kill.
Welcome back to Chaos Springs Eternal presents Season 1, City of Woe. This is a bit of an odd episode. For some background, last Thursday, Houston had a big tornado/derecho wind move in, so I lost power. So I didn't have power until Sunday at 9:30 a.m. I didn't really have time to, edit an episode for this week. Heads up, the next official episode, because this is, spoiler, this is another half episode, like the little outing with Glomus. The next official episode begins the end of this arc with the Riverbend Blues Lounge. There's a lot that happened in the last recording, and we're not done recording the end. It'll go a couple episodes, so just FYI, things begin wrapping up. For some context, last week when we had the downtime scenes, Mark and I talked about doing his downtime scene, and I was kind of like, oh, you want to do it now? No. I kind of wanted him to record it on its own. First off, because this is something that the other characters wouldn't necessarily know about. I don't run a totally closed game, but I kind of like the idea for this specific scene to leave it as a closed game-ish. And I'm not going to tell Noah and Tyler to not listen to this, but one of the things about this Delta Green game that I took from Blades in the Dark was this idea of a vice. And that exploring this vice would allow our players to gain back some sanity. And I kind of liked the idea of having some addiction or vice that was what kept you grounded. And traditionally in Delta Green, you get your sanity back by, going to therapy or getting back in touch with nature, or those sorts of things. Not for me. The themes that I wanted to explore with this campaign had to do more with some of the self-destructive elements that can be expressed in these type of role-playing games. So Marcy's is bowling and Joel's is drugs, and Mark came to me with this idea for Cyril's vice. And I was a little disturbed when he did, but he did it in a way that made a lot of sense to me. And I said, all right, let's do it. And so we've kept that under wraps until now. So heads up, this is going to be a disturbing episode. If you are uncomfortable with violence, don't listen. You will not need to listen to this episode necessarily to follow any of the story. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Mark, who has recorded this all beforehand.
Her name was Crystal, and she was simply there. That's it. I needed her, and like a bubble rising from the rotting depths of some backwater mud holes, she appeared. I first saw Crystal sitting under a blue-tinted can light at a bar just outside of Carrefour. Her blonde hair drank in the blue light, revealing the layers of cheap color that coated each strand. Crystal had all the markings of a girl who spent decades in a small shit town in Ohio, decided one day to leave in the fastest way possible. For Crystal, this meant an argument with her mother in the cornflower blue kitchen over a spilled bowl of mini-wheats, while her younger brother slammed meth in the back room. The American dream, to be sure. Crystal was gone and forgotten, and she was perfect. Now, it doesn't take much to chat up a girl like that. Simple offer to buy her a drink, comment about her skin or her eyes or whatever's the most striking is usually enough. Crystal was unimpressed by my offer at first. When the first line fails, you must follow up with style. For me, this is an exquisite drink order delivered in my characteristic drawl. A vieux carré, barkeep, top shelf, mind you. Crystal's lips smirked slightly and her eyes slipped to her lap, where her hands fidgeted with a knockoff purse. Now, I won't bore you with the next 2 hours of conversation, as it bored me to tears most of the time. Crystal spoke of home. She told me about her various odd jobs, that she was on her way to Carrefour from New Orleans, because she saw us on the news and Carrefour seemed like a good place for a ghost. I assured her that she was correct, but that my compatriots and I had captured the only ghost in Carrefour. And just like that, we were on the way to my place. There is an easing in, a sort of unspoken trial period that happens when visitors of a sexual nature arrive at your place. I think this is true for most people, but my studio apartment is designed in such a way that this unease is truncated to the point of non-existence. The equipment does that work for me. The lights, the cameras, the large lenses, the soft seating, the stark whites and the luscious grays tell the story of sex for me. For someone like Crystal, my studio is like visual Viagra. Before I knew what was happening, we were lounging languidly in my bed. The smell of a cheap perfume wafting around the room, mingling with the smell of old film and sex. Sometimes, if you sit still for long enough, you can hear the universe calling out to you some kind of special need. Some cosmic desire that some forgotten deity needed to have breathed into existence. In the post-sex darkness, with Crystal wound up in my beautiful sheets like a wood vine, coarse and brittle, I was sitting still. I was still and open, ready for the darkness to consume this night and every night and take this unholy energy from me. And I remembered Afghanistan, and the laughter, and the rugged men, and their betrayal, their fucking betrayal. All those days and nights of fucking targets to acquire, never once wrong, never once. And they were just happy to be killing, pulling cards from the deck. Unit, fucking glorious unit. But all that good bloody work goes away when you mention something spiritual. Rugged, angry little boys on the playground now, and I'm a fucking lunatic seeing ghosts and auras and capturing souls. Months of constant recon. Constant trust. Proof. Gone. One instance. My discharge papers came with the next Humvee, along with my mangled medical records. And a tobacco-stained smile from my commanding officer as he slammed those papers into my hand. Honorable, yes, but in the worst kind of way. I remember the beautiful aura of that angel I killed and how he belonged to me now. I sat still in the stillness, and from the space between two infinite darknesses, a command from the universe drifted through my still mind. Quiet, but desperate plea. One that gods ignore at their peril. Trust. It only took 3 slices of bacon to convince Crystal to participate in a special photo shoot, one simply for us to remember each other by. I knew she would say yes. She couldn't say no, not after the night we had had. It's a waste of bacon, honestly. Crystal slowly lowered herself into the bathtub, the warm lavender-scented water swirling around her as her nude form sank deeper into the depths. She was exquisite as she floated there, the white cloth around her eyes becoming saturated, translucent as it leached the color from her cheap mascara. Her hands caressed the edges of the white porcelain tub, and her mouth curled into a wry smirk. I gently placed the now gray orgonite on her navel. She shuddered at the movement. And I said, "Don't move now." I said, "Let the cameras do their work, to remember the night that we had had, and most importantly, to open up all the doors of her soul, as this was going to be a cleansing ritual." I checked the lights one last time and scaled the ladder next to the tub and aimed the final light at Crystal's heart. Seed of the soul, garden of blood, hope for the devils below, peace and judgment. The various cameras around the room all hummed with anticipation as I gripped that shutter button. Arms outstretched wide, eyes up, searching the slick, pressing darkness billions of miles away. Could feel it there hovering, a singularity of purpose. The high-pitched whine of the lights, the soft, slow movements of Crystal's hair making ribbons in the warm water, the blood rushing in my ears, and the unspoken violence of a suppressed 9mm, hovering above it all, ready to do its necessary work. The final light, the cascade of color, the end of all things. Crystal floated. The universe whispered to me. My nerves fired. Silence spoke. Click.
Shadows in the deep, where they watch me while I sleep, don't require your belief, offering silence but no relief. Can you scream without a sound, like the freeze that's coming down? Barren space where nothing grows, a secret place where no one goes. Frozen in the snow, the eyes of corpses have no glow. Made these chains just for myself, rambling about my mental health. Demons on this hazy hill, only my soul is left to kill. Can you lead me past the sickness and the bad? Do you see me? Icy faces with no smile. Where can I run? Where it cannot chase me down. Where is the sun? Oh God, please don't let me drown.